Good morning, folks. Dr. G-String here, coming to you from the Guitar Hospital in Haines City, Florida, where the alligators and the cougars roam. I have a friend of mine who mentioned that there might be some interest of some of my experiences and knowledge to be passed on to others before I go to the great pick and parlor in the sky, and I've agreed to pass whatever I can on as long as it doesn't get too tedious. Little background information: I started out when I was about 7 years old, built my first guitar out of a cigar box and a piece of wood, and I glued about 6-penny nails on it for frets and stretched some plain old wire and whatever I could find around to have fun with. And then my father decided he was going to give me lessons, and I remember he paid 50 cents a lesson. 50 cents a lesson for a guitar. He was a Hawaiian fella. His name was Maijo. I'll never forget his name, Maijo. And he drove from Camden, New Jersey, down to Williamstown, New Jersey, and in my area, Clayton, Glassboro, Cedarbrook, Sicklerville, and Franklinville, to give people guitar lessons for 50 cents an hour. Those were the days. And then I continued on for about 2 months, and my father told me he couldn't afford it anymore, so he wanted me to get he's going to stop lessons, and then we were going to get a job so that I could go out and pay for my lessons. So I got a job selling papers and played the guitar and went on through high school. I was in high school with a friend of mine, and I think his name was Bucky Geisert. He was a guitar player too. And the Williams brothers and another fellow by the name of Georgie Tanger, and we formed a little band. And then I got in the Navy, went down to Philadelphia to depart New Jersey for Great Lakes, Illinois, and they stuck me in a little place called Millington, Tennessee. And they were still fighting the Civil War there. They hated Yankees, but when they found out that I could play a guitar, they kind of adopted me. So that was a plus for me. And when I got out of the service, I went to California, and while I was in the Navy, I played in the Tennessee Cotton Pickers Band was the name of my band. We were on the original Ted Mack Amateur Hour. And we played all over Tennessee for the Tennessee Cloggers and state champions. And then I went to California, played out on the old Town Hall Party with Cliffy Stone and the Maddox Brothers and Rose, and my good buddy Win Stewart. I was playing mandolin back in those days. And we had a good time. And then I came back to New Jersey and bought a music store and started to learn the music business. I studied under an old violin maker by the name of Emilio Di Lucia, and I finally bought his store. I named it the Guitar Hospital. I registered and copyrighted this logo, and I had a very successful business. And when I finally sold it and retired in 1984, I sold it to a young fella from Boston who was a relation to Eli Lilly, the pharmaceutical heir, and he bought like I think it was around 15 or 25,000 instruments from me that I had. So that's some of the background. And I first got exposed to playing the guitar by a fella from Williamstown, New Jersey, who was a bus driver. And when I went there, the first song that he played was called Old Ship. And I had such an attachment, an emotional attachment to that song, that it brought tears to my eyes. If you've never heard it, I highly suggest you would run out and get a copy of Old Ship. I'm sure it's on the internet. So basically, that's the history of the experiences that I've accumulated over the years, playing all over the country, having 2 music stores, repairing thousands of guitars, and having a great time all along. So I'd like to pass along a few stories, something that might be of interest to you, and give you folks a little information on how to play the most popular instrument in the world, a guitar. This is your gynecologist, Dr. G-String, telling all you pickers and grinners, go out and have a good time and play with your G-String.